Welcome to Seeing More of the Universe. I'm your host, Alyssa Goodman. In this short episode, we're going to talk about the differences in goals and procedures when you're trying to explore or explain data through visualization. You can think of a road that goes back and forth from exploration to explanation. And if you think about how science often works in terms of communication, scientists explore information and data and they make graphics that are intended to explain what they found to other people. And if those graphics are pretty dry and maybe only understandable by experts, that's called scholarly publishing. And if they're beautiful, that's often called public outreach. But it really doesn't have to be that way. It is hard to go the other way from explanatory graphics to interactive graphics where you can really explore more on your own, but it is possible. And when it's possible, you can actually have a two-way street where you can constantly go back and forth between exploring your data and explaining it to yourself or to others. And this is a kind of complicated graphic that's a summary figure from a paper and a much longer talk that we'll talk about in a minute. But I just want you to take a look here for a minute. You'll see that in the lower right, there's a whole bunch of graphics that somebody is making in a linked view visualization environment called Glue that we'll discuss in another video. And that clearly is an expert at work. But what's interesting is that they can create the panel that you see here, noted as explanation, and that combination of data sets that they've used to make that makes a lovely image for standard public outreach. But the same program, Glue, or another modern software program, can export to a scholarly publication or even interactive graphics in a scholarly publication. And then if you look down the left-hand side of this graphic, you'll notice that most publications now at least allow, if not require, the publication of data behind graphics. And if that happens, and then you have clever software approaches, you can actually ingest the data that's published in explanations so that you can put it back into a program like the Glue program shown here and go ahead and keep exploring the data. And so I think that that's the future of scholarly publishing and even of public outreach. But I just have to say that while this is possible, and it is happening now in some cases, it doesn't happen for everyone. So we wrote a little paper about that called New Thinking on and with Data Visualization that you can find on the archive. And we have a whole separate episode about connecting data, language, and pictures coming up soon. And if you really want to know the entire story of where this graphic came from, you can take a look at this longer video uh, from a talk I gave at the National Academies, and that talk was called The Road from Explanation to Exploration and Back. You can follow the links below to find the full talk. And again, if you just want to proceed in this series, I highly recommend that the next video you watch is the one featured at the upper left in the corner here about connecting data, language, and pictures. Thanks again. Bye.